Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ANZCAR Cup. We are here for the clash at the LA Coliseum, and we are getting ready for the first race of the evening, heat race number one. We are looking at tonight, and well, it's going to be a different one, of course. The clash is our opening event. It's our little fun getting ready for the rest of the season, and we are looking forward to it to start. The pace car will be coming in very shortly, and we'll be getting ready to race. It is currently up front. So Toby Stent has managed to get the pole position with Daniel Hedischeit on the outside. Pace car is pulling in, and the green flag is about to drop. The 8 cars are about to get underway, and we are live for the first time this year for the ANZCAR Cup. Should always say welcome everybody, and my name's Carl Wilkinson. With me, of course, got Matt Hunter in the booth. How you going, Matt?
Yeah, good. Oh, as we see a spinner in the background there.
That was Daniel Hedischeit just getting a little bit of help there, and he gets caught up with Lachlan Oakley over number 42 there. Round he goes, of course, no cautions in this little event. It is a 20-lap heat event here. Not a huge track as well, so it does not take long for those laps to come through, but this is a really tricky track. Expect to see people struggling. So easy to make contact in those early corners, especially on the start when people are so close together. But it is so easy to lose the car as well on cold tyres. Getting up to speed, even though it's a tiny track, it takes a lot of skill to get around. Currently, it's Toby Stent leading Aidan Schultz with Jai Schultz in third. As we roll in, and yes, it is the start of the 2023 season for the Cup cars. It's going to be great stuff this year, and we are looking forward to bringing it all. Of course, as we said before, the clash is the starting round. Last year we saw Philip Worley taking the win ahead of Andrew Dyson, and DPR had a great year after that. Will we see the same outcome tonight, I wonder?
It was certainly a good way to start the year last year for DPR, getting the win here. As we see the two Schultzes battling each other here, and Jai makes a pass and then immediately spins out, lining up the rears.
Easy to do. It just takes a little bit of pressure on the accelerator, and around you go. These Cup cars, of course, have a huge amount of horsepower in them, and they are so easy to lose on a track like this. As Jai Schultz goes around again, almost catches the leader, Toby Stent, that time round. Toby just gets through, luckily there. Stevie Dubb moving his way through nicely up into third position now, right on the tail of Aidan Schultz.
Yeah, it looks like Joey might have just overheated those red tyres a little bit at the moment, and they're just losing traction when he goes to put the power down. As we see Stephen Williams do a little bit of a overdrive in the corner there, but he's back going again.
So easy to do on this little track, and it's, as we said, it's a very tricky little track to run. Of course, this place is 0.4 of a kilometre. It's not much at all. I reckon you could run around it as fast as these cars sometimes.
I think so too. Sometimes there could be such a thing as too small of a track to race on, and this could be a candidate for that.
It is very close to it, isn't it? I think it would be better for go-karts sometimes, but they still get up to about 140 kilometers per hour on the straight here, which is ridiculous when you look at how small this track is.
Yeah, interesting to see. Look at those red brake rotors on Williams' car. They're really glowing. You can see really hammering the brakes, and might be a bit more bias towards the back on the brakes there, causing that.
Absolutely, and you can see it in all its glory because it is, of course, nighttime here in LA. So we get that beautiful darkness making those brakes glow like bright hot orange discs in the car. Battling it out now with Aidan Schultz, the two side by side. Sorry, that's not Aidan. Sorry,
Jai,
that is Jai Schultz. Yes,
yeah.
Getting the two Schultzes mixed up already. Jai is a lap down now, unfortunately, after that little moment, but he's trying his best to fight there. It gets very loose at the corner, but keeps it steady this time round, hangs it through that corner nicely. He is the cork in the bottle for Stevie Dubb, of course. No blue flags in oval racing. We are on lap 17, free to go now, not far off. Toby Stent looking to, well, start his ANZCAR night off very well, and he is going to be looking to get the first victory. He just has to make it around 2 more laps.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good in that nice livery car there. Perhaps there's some team announcements still to be made and coming out about all that.
Exactly, yes. I'd say that's an Atari livery on stent, so expect
Yeah,
something like that in the future.
yeah.
But he is sitting up there nicely in the lead. And, well, he's on the last lap now, coming around to take the first win of the night and the first win of the ANZCAR Series for 2023. It's Toby Stent crossing the line, getting victory here tonight. Aiden Schultz is going to be following him home. Well, Stevie Dubb's got past. Aiden's had a spin. Stevie Dubb comes home in second position.
It's
What looks like
unfortunate there. Yeah, we'll just have a little look here. We can see Toby Stent. What a way to start the year for Toby Stent. New team, new livery, and goes out and wins the very first race of the season. So it's a good start for him. As we see the next field is lining up, because this is a totally different format to what we're used to. So we've got to make it up on the fly.
exactly. It changes things up. Of course, we've got four little heat races before the feature races. So these are the qualifying races for the main features. Of course, just going through the finishing order of that first heat, it was Toby Stent taking the victory ahead of Stevie Dubb. Adam Malone came home in third, Lachlan Oakwood fourth, Daniel Hedershide in fifth, with Aidan Schultz in sixth, Joy Schultz seventh, and Nigel Sedell in eighth position. So as we look to the grid for Heat 2, it's Maddie Ray on the front row with JCW, Josh Carroll Walden on his outside, Dylan O'Shea with Darren McKenzie on the second row, Dave Douglas with Lachlan Horan on the third row, with Luke Kenny and Brenton Henderson taking out the final line of the grid here tonight. Already had to put so many more words into my evening than I'm used to. I've needed to suck back some honey and lemon to get through this, I think.
I'm still catching up everything on the fly here. We just got caught out with the timing start of this, so.
Exactly. We like to act professional, but we are absolutely not.
Nah. We'll chuck up here. So here's your broadcast team for the night, Carl and myself. And conditions. See if we can quickly look at the conditions here. So a little bit of a 12km/h wind from the southeast. Air temperature 21, track temperature 22, so a nice sort of mid-range temperature there, so it should be pretty good.
Absolutely, and a dry track, which is always nice and always useful for this style of racing. There is that rumour that they're going to run very short tracks with rain in the future, and well, that would be a sight to see here at the Coliseum, I reckon.
I hope they don't do any points racings here, but anyway.
As we're starting off, and it looks like we've got contact in the first corner as I think it was Mackenzie got spun on the first turn. Unfortunately, gets caught on the inside with Lachlan Horan as well, I believe, in that one. Yes, Lachlan Horan.
That's a real shame. Darren obviously returning, making his first start in quite a while, and yeah, unfortunate to get turned so early.
Absolutely, it's not what you want to have happen, especially in these short little heat races. Darren Mackenzie, of course, a Weekend Warriors champion. He will be looking to have a good run this season. Our second DPR car, of course, because we saw Stevie Dubb earlier. But we've got there Dylan O'Shea back in the series. He's going to want to try and get a good finish. He's just behind Dave Douglas at the moment. Double D in the 10 is as strong as ever. Up front, though, it's Matty Ray getting away quite well at the front. He's got JCW behind him. He's going to want to hope that he can defend against that Atari and stop them taking wind in every heat race tonight.
Yeah, JCW he's caught up to him now. He's going to start putting the pressure on the bumper, and the question is where he puts the bumper to Matty Sheen, Mr. Sheen, who one of the nicest guys in racing.
Absolutely, and just behind him, a little past position as Dylan O'Shea had a beautiful move on Dave Douglas there. Caught Dave just on the outside. Oh, Matty Ray's gone round. He manages to catch it. He saves it just about, but catches JCW. Mr. Sheen did not keep that one clean. The back end stepped out on him. JCW gets through, gets into the lead. Matty Ray drops down to fourth.
Unfortunate there, and almost half the lap's gone. It's going to be very hard for him to make his way back, although lap traffic may start playing a part.
Absolutely. Kirsten, the commentator, number one for you, Mr. Matty Hunter. Congratulations.
I'm pretty good at it. I should bet on it.
Your skills have improved over the years. You're getting strong.
Yeah. Yep. You do not want me singing your praises in a race, because, yeah, it's a curse.
If we talk about you in a race, that's it. You're doomed.
But looks like JCW's managed to get himself a good little gap now from O'Shea.
He has. He's built up about a second now over O'Shea. Just about 0.8 of a second behind O'Shea is Dave Douglas, with Matty Ray just dropping off a little bit. He's just fallen behind Darren McKenzie. I reckon there's some damage on the front right of that car that's struggling to let it turn, which is always troublesome here at the Coliseum because, well, there is a pit complex, but it's not really one you can get in and out of, especially in a 20-lap heat race.
No, you just have to soldier on, really. Yeah, that right front's looking pretty average.
And damage on a track like this is not fun at all because it is nothing but a corner. I'd say it's probably worse than Monaco with its corners. They're just constant. As Matty Ray just drops out there, we see him pulling to the side and retiring the car. Unfortunately, too much damage on the front of that thing. He just pulled in ahead of Brenton Henderson, his teammate, there in 6th position. Up a little bit, Lachlan Horan in 7th position. He's going around, but he is a lap down, unfortunately, after that early spin. A shame to see, but the joy of heat racing is you can sometimes get some positions back in the next race. It's not all done, of course.
No, and I think it might be Lachlan Horan's first race with us, I think, so pretty tough race to jump straight into, really. Yeah, pretty tough track and pretty tough car.
Very much so. These Cup cars are, I'd say, a little bit easier to drive than last year, but they are still an absolute beast, especially when you're going around a track like this, as we've seen. So easy to light up those rear tyres when you put down the 700 odd horsepower onto track. You don't get any aid from the aerodynamics at this speed. It's all down to mechanical grip, and that is lacking in those first couple of laps. But now it's JCW with 1.5 laps remaining, coming up behind Brenton Henderson now, who just moves out of the way nicely there. Let's get him through. He has just seen the white flag, and it's going to be JCW making it to the line as long as he doesn't make a mistake here. Just half a lap remaining. He's going to cross the line and take win number 2. 2 wins for Natari tonight. Dylan O'Shea comes home in 2nd with Dave Douglas making it onto the podium in 3rd. Darren McKenzie in 4th with Brenton Henderson in 5th. Luke Kenny will come home in 5th position. Luke Kenny will come home in 5th position with Brenton Henderson in 6th. Lachlan Holland in where was it?
Yeah, you got to be quick.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? I know it might be a stretch, but we've had Natari cars win the first 2 races. Do you think the Turimo Ed might be cracking a smile? I know it might be a bit of a stretch.
Ed's smiling. I mean, that's a very rare thing to happen.
Yeah. Good start for Natari. Two races, 2 wins. So they've got to be.
I think if he crosses the line in first place this race, he might actually smile.
Make it 3 from 3. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that number 11. He's keeping up with the Kibosh paint jobs. So looks great.
Absolutely. So let's go through the order. It's Jones on pole position with Russell Bartka in 2nd place on that first row. 2nd row, Foster and Phelps. 3rd row is Tom Neal and Kai Turner. Kai Turner coming back to the series. Nice to see him back with Kobe Jordan and Noddy Tompkins rounding out this heat grid. And we just heard from a reigning champion, Mr. Andrew Dyson. He missed out because he didn't quite get into the session on time. So we will not have Andrew Dyson tonight, which is a shame, but I'm sure we'll see him back for round number 1, of course, at Daytona.
It's always nice to see at the start of the season in this first race all the nice new paint jobs and seams and different team liveries, and it's always awesome to see.
Absolutely. It's our first chance to see some of these new liveries, and always a pleasure to see them, and we look forward to seeing them for the next year. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, hopefully some up the front, and everybody will want to have a turn up the front at some stage.
Absolutely. As the green flag drops, Jones pulls away nicely there. Gets a little bit of a bump from Bartka behind him. Jones just about saves it, but Foster's got the lead. Good move. Good reactive move there as Jones managed to keep a hold of the car because that looked like it was going into the wall. He managed to save it, so he is now on the chase, and I'm sure he'll be looking in his mirrors going, oh, what's going on? The 38 goes round of Tom Neal.
Tom Neal.
He manages to spin it back round and get back on the track, but a eventful first couple of meters there.
Yeah. The 53, the door just opened wider for him, and he just went, "Thank you very much," and jumped through.
Taking advantage of that all around. Sparker as well. He loses it on the exit of the corner. Just gets a bit too much power down, and the SRM machine goes around. He's managed to get it back, plunging the right way, just ahead of Tom Neal there. Those two now will be fighting it out. Foster Lee's just ahead of Jones and Phelps.
Yeah, they're having real got to be real delicate putting that foot down and getting that power down. These high horsepower and tight corners, they just lighten those tyres up.
Absolutely, I just get a mental flash of Jackie Stewart going, you got to be careful on the accelerator, just press it like there's an egg underneath it. It's that style of thing. You just got to be so cautious. Up the front though, Foster has now got to put the defensive moves on as the number 11 of Ryan Jones is looking to get back into the lead of this race. Ruben Phelps behind them is battling with Kai Turner as well, but the main event is at the front here. These two are absolutely nose to tail.
Yeah, I don't think you can pass conventionally here. I think you're going to have to put the bumper to him.
As around goes Kai Turner in the background. He manages to get back in the right direction eventually. No, he's still struggling. As the leaders will come through, they have to make a dodge, and Foster goes round.
Oh no, Foster had to swerve to avoid the car there, and just got on the gas a little bit too much, and that lit the tyres up, and he went around. And Ryan Jones takes over the lead.
It does. A little bit of karma for Ryan Jones. He had a bad moment at the start of the race, not his fault. He manages to get there on his own and get back into the lead here. He's going to be happy with that. Ruben Phelps sitting in second at the moment, but I'm sure Foster will be chundering underneath that helmet about that one. It's such a tricky thing to do, but as is racing sometimes.
Yeah, there's just so many variables here. Obviously, with the heat races, no cautions, so you just got to hope that no one spins out in front of you, because sometimes you just don't have anywhere to go, like that situation. But Noddy Tompkins quietly up to third position.
Absolutely, a good run for Noddy Tompkins. We've seen him coming on form recently, and he is having a good start to the year here for the Cup Series. Up there in third, just up the front though. Jones just makes contact with the wall, just a little touch, and that's put Phelps into contention for the front row now. We've still got 5 laps to go. And he locked up, and Phelps is going to take the lead.
So not only have you got the problem where you put the power down too quickly and light up the rear tyres, if you brake too late and too deep, you overshoot the corner and lose all that speed and run up the track as well. That's a really fine margin on both the entry and exit of the corners.
It is indeed, and just up the front there was a little bit of a tap between Jones and Phelps as well, just that little bit of a nudge there, but they've stayed nose to tail. These two are going to be battling it out for, well, possibly the win, but watch out for Tompkins. He's 6 seconds behind, but if these two make contact, he could well move himself up into the lead of this race. It's Phelps, Jones, Tompkins, Jordan, Bretker, Foster, Neal, and unfortunately, I think we just lost Tom Neal's just got into the wall, and he's had to jump out of that car.
Yeah, we just saw him on the background of this shot here, watching the leaders, that the Neal's car was around backwards again.
Up at the front though, the battle's on. Jones makes a big lunge and gets the move done. A beautiful overtake there by the number 11. Caught Phelps napping a little bit just before the white flag fell and got the lead of the race. Just half a lap remaining for Jones. Will he be the one to take this heat round race? Looks like he's going to do it, and Jones gets the win.
Oh, I think Phelps blew the corner, went too deep, and Jones was hell-bent that he was going to bump him. So Jones ended up following him into the corner deep as well. But no, very good pass there by Jones, and gets the win done.
Absolutely, and that was an eventful heat race. That was great stuff there.
So this must be a repecharge or some kind. Because we now have 12 cars on the track.
Yes, so I believe this is the... Where are we? This is the main race. So this is the... This will be the main, I think.
Oh, this is the... No, can't be the main, because no, Jones is not in it.
Oh, uh,
Our race winners are not in it.
oh no, wait, this is the...
Like a last chance qualifier or something.
Maybe. Yes. It's our B main warm-up, I believe. So, just looking at my thingy here, so sorry about that.
So 40 laps for this one.
Okay, yes, this is the... looks like this is the one of the main races. So this is the last... This must be the... Yeah, this is the last chance for the... This is the lower part of the grid's main race.
Do we know how many cars will transfer out of this one?
No idea. No idea. I'm terrible with heat racing. It throws me out something terrible.
Yeah, and I mean this race is a fun race concept as well, just to start the season off and sort of get out there as well. So it's not too serious, but sort of just bragging rights if you can get the win done.
Yeah, I think it'll be the top 6 from this race to go into the main one, possibly. But we'll find out for sure as they go away. It's Daniel Hederscheid in the lead. So we have got a fair few cars, 12 cars in this race. It's Hederscheid Foster up the front at the moment with Luke Kenny up there as well, battling it out for P2 at the moment. You've got Aidan Schultz moving around up there as well with Jai Schultz, Brenton Henderson, Kai Turner, Russell Brecker, Lachlan Horan, Nigel Siddall and Tom Neal in this one. But up the front is Daniel Hederscheid. It's like a scoreboard cat moving away from his team, Edward Foster. Both Natari cars up in first and second. We've then got Aidan Schultz sitting in third with Luke Kenny and Jai Schultz in 5th position. As all just behind Kai Turner just gets a bit of a wobble, manages to save the car. They're away cleanly this time round. Everybody's moving in the right direction, but that could change very shortly as Kai Turner had a great save there.
Yeah, he looked a bit out of shape there, Kyle Turner, but he did a really good job of recapturing that car.
And it's such a tricky thing to do, catching the car in a slide like that. Sometimes if you just misjudge it by a couple of millimetres, if you get your foot too far forward on the throttle pedal, the car will go around. So it takes a fair bit of skill to get that one pulled out, but he's done a good job there of keeping it in the running. He's currently in 6th position. Russell Brecker's just behind Brenton Henderson at the moment, with Matty Ray behind him. The SRM team running 3 abreast at the moment. So, of course, one of our American races over here. It's nice to have some international flavour to the event.
It's great to see in the number 25.
He's just settling in a little bit at the moment. It's still a long way to go. 31 laps remaining, and well, anything can happen, and it usually does. But we have got a move for position as Luke Kenny drops in behind Jai Schultz. The 2 Schultzes now running, well, nose to tail almost. They're running 3rd and 4th now, just behind Foster and Hederscheid. As all a little bit of contact to the wall there, as it looks like connection issues are happening for the 52 there, unfortunately. Hopefully they will sort themselves out. Never fun to have connectivity troubles on a short track like this, because you don't know where that car's going to appear from when it reappears from the void.
Be interesting to see how they go. This is double race distance compared to what they were doing before. So how well are you going to look after your tyres, especially that right front? You don't want to overheat it going into these corners by driving the corner, and then obviously the rear tyres you want to have a little bit of a keep the temperature out of them. So yeah, who can play the long game best?
Absolutely, it's getting the car to the end. That's the important thing. It's that you want to be as high as you can at the line, and sometimes if you make those mistakes, if you overheat those tyres too quickly, it can really cost you in the latter stages. And when you've been used to running 20 laps, 40 laps really can shake things up. Big hello to Chris Purnell, who is back in the racing community. He's joining us tonight, watching on the YouTube channel. Of course, you can catch all the action on Performance E-streaming over at YouTube and on the Facebook page as well. Remember to like and subscribe to catch all of the races for the season. The SRM train is still running along nicely. Brenton Henderson, Russell Baratka and Maddie Ray at the moment. Brenton Henderson in the lead of this train. They've got Tom Neal on their tail at the moment.
Yeah, Tom Neal's just catching onto the back of this, so Matty Ray, if he's got a little bit more in the tank, he needs to start looking at going, because he's going to come under pressure from Neal pretty soon.
Well, the extra 20 laps is going to suit Matty Ray down to the ground. We know that he likes to work his way from the back of the pack to the front of the pack, and he's got 20 more laps to do it. Maybe that's what went wrong in the last race. He was too far up the field a bit too early in the race.
Needed a bit more race distance. I see Lachlan Horan has parked it in the pits. Well, the car resting area, not really pits.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a lot of damage on the front of that car, so had a big moment and lost it just going through just out of turn 2, and a big contact in the wall. I reckon he's damaged his suspension, so that has taken him out of the running. Up the front is still Heddershide and Foster battling it out. We'll see if we can catch on the replay.
I think
There we go.
Yeah, just off the corner, he's just lit the tyres up and unfortunately spun and hit the inside wall.
Big shame there. And we were saying before about having the brake bias set to the back of the car, of course, and when you do that, it adds a little bit more temperature to those rear tyres, which are getting hot anyway from all the acceleration, and that can cause some trouble and strife later in the run as they get a little bit too hot to handle. But the leaders are coming up on the SRM train as... Oh, who was that? It looked like
270 was around. Yep, that was Jai. And the leaders are dealing with the they're lapping cars now.
They are, and Josh Schultz just going around a similar instance. He's back in the wall as well. He's just having to reverse it and get back into the race. He just about does it this time round though. But this is the peril up the front now as you get into lap traffic. Passing a car in normal conditions is tricky.
Free wide.
Trying to pass them in lap condition is harder, and free wide is absolutely insane. Nigel Siddell there just getting into the wall.
There was no surprise that he went into the wall free wide around here. Wasn't going to work.
I think you could possibly manage free wide in a Formula V, but that's about as close as you'd want to have it.
Yeah.
Up the front, it's still Heddershide and Foster. They're still working their way nicely through the pack, but it has split up a little bit as Matty Ray has been broken up from his teammates. Henderson still leading the SRM train. Luke Kenny up in 5th position, having a nice run just behind Kai Turner. In 4th position, it's Aidan Schultz trying to catch up to the leaders. He's 6 seconds off their pace. He's got Kai Turner to worry about in his rearview mirror, though.
As we see the 25 go wide there on the corner, and the leaders come through.
Absolutely. As we said a few times tonight, it's not an easy track to drive, and it is very, very hard. I mean, try driving a normal road car on a go-kart track, and then try driving a race car on this track. It's very similar feelings. It's such a small place with so much horsepower. You've got to really pay a lot of respect. Up the front though, the battle's starting to heat up a little bit. Foster's getting a little bit racy with his teammate, looking to try and make the pass. That's probably the closest battle at the moment on the track as they get their way past the SRM machines and finally get a little bit of clear traffic. Luke Kenny, the next car in their sights for lapping. 7 laps to go.
Yeah, they're just powering away, these two now.
Oh, as Heddershide gets a big tank slapper on, he just catches it.
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. The 53 looked a little bit loose on the tail as well.
These guys are starting to get to the end now. There's only 5 laps remaining, and well, the cars are obviously feeling a little bit less fun to drive than they were at the beginning of this run.
Yeah, those tyres will be super hot. tyres will be all greasy as well. As we see, Foster's starting to have a little bit of a look.
He's looking down the inside on the exit of the corner. He's going to make the run. He makes the run, makes contact with his team.
and
She
he's spun
spins him. Around goes Hendershot. Foster has to go.
It's jammed.
We've got a traffic jam. Foster takes the lead in brutal fashion.
I'm pretty sure that's not how he wanted to do it, that's for sure. It certainly made it entertaining for us, though.
He did indeed, and this has closed up the gap between second, third and fourth place. It is now every man for themselves as Aidan Schultz is all over the back of Hederscheid. We've got 2 laps remaining here, and Kai Turner really putting the pressure on as well. Hederscheid's really got to get there. He'll have a bit more heat in those tyres as well, having to flick spin it. He's got to try and get it to the end now in second place. We've got 1 lap remaining. Will he get it home in second? Will we see Schultz or Turner trying to make the lunge here on the last lap? Foster, though, is going to take the win of this round of the heat racing. As he crosses the line, it's Hederscheid now who's going to get second place. He's looking safe as he crosses the line.
Yeah, just to hold on to there. See if we can jump back and see what happened there. Here we go. Let's try and have a look at this.
Yeah, big moment there. It was just that little nudge, and then Foster tries to back it up, but there's not enough room, makes the secondary contact, and it is so much for Daniel Hederscheid. And then he tries to sort of ease it off a little bit, but there are too many cars behind him, and Hederscheid just gets absolutely caught in that one.
And they all just had nowhere to go and piled into it. So now I believe we've got a bit of a warm-up.
Looks like it, yeah. So this is I believe this is the feature race now. So this will be the main feature. With yes, I'll go with yes. I'll just say yes, man.
Yeah, we think this will be the main feature race. But this is just a warm-up at the moment. Just cutting some laps.
So I'll just go through the finishing order of that last race. It was Foster taking the win there with what's it saying? Oh yeah, it was Daniel Hederscheid. Sorry, Foster taking Hederscheid in second, Schultz in third, with Turner in fourth. Luke Kenny came home in fifth position. Russell Blackett, the best of the SRM machines, in sixth. Seventh was Manny Ray. Tom Neal eighth. Brenton Henderson in ninth position. Jai Schultz 10th, 11th was Siddell, and Lachlan Horan was in 12th. I try and get my cameras working correctly. Eventful little race there. Those 40 laps went by very quickly indeed.
Yeah, it's great. From a spectator point of view, I love it when we see like 5 cars pile into a crash like that. If I was the driver, though, I wouldn't be.
Exactly. From the outside, it's fine. When you're racing, not so much.
Not fun at all. But yeah, from a spectator point of view, it's great.
Absolutely mega stuff. And look, a great way of warming up for the main season. Of course, we've got Daytona coming up soon for you. That will be next week. Of course, it's going to start off with the Truck Series, the Thunder Series, and then we have the main event with the Cup Series. Of course, Thunder and the Cup will be brought to you on Performance e-streaming, so we look forward to catching you then. But we've still got some racing here tonight, and we are looking forward to the feature race here at the LA Coliseum. Now, of course, Daytona, of course, will be the big one as well. That will be next weekend. We'll be having the duels on Saturday with the main event of the race on the Sunday. So it's going to be a busy weekend, Matt.
It's going to be a busy week next week, that's for sure. We will be broadcasting obviously Sunday night with our Australian V8 E-Series, and then Wednesday night will be the start of the Thunder season. And then no broadcast Thursday this week, but on Saturday we'll have the duels, so 2 races back to back, which will set the grid for the Daytona 500, so full length Daytona 500. running that on Sunday afternoon, the 19th. So yeah, and then that Sunday night we'll have the Australian V8s again. So it's going to be a very big Sunday for Saturday, Sunday for us.
Absolutely, and the Aussie V8s will be coming to us from Kentucky this week. So if you want some more racing this week, head over to Performance E-Streaming on Sunday night for the round number 3 of the Australasian Supercar E-Series at Kentucky. But tonight we are here at the LA Coliseum. It is Toby Stent on the front row with JCW on his outside, with Natari getting the 2 front spots. They're going to be happy about that. Ryan Jones is in 3rd position with Stevie Dubb in 4th. Row number 3, we have O'Shea and Phelps. Row 4 is Malone Douglas. 5 is Tomkin Urquio. Row 6 is Mackenzie Jordan. Row 7 is Foster and Hederscheid. Row 8, we have Schultz and Turner. Row 9 is Kenny and Bretka. Row 10 is Raymond and Neil. And on the final row, it's Henderson and Jai Schultz. 22 cars out here now. This is going to be, this is going to be a very tight track with 22 cars on here.
Chaos, I think, is the word you're looking for, Cal. It's going to be chaos. And we're all here for it.
I think it is fair to say it will be. The pace car will be coming in shortly, but no cautions on for this as well, remember. So the drivers just have to be careful of cars going round. Hopefully their spotters will inform them when there is an accident. No cautions on for this one because it is such a chaotic track. Pace car will be coming in now, though. And we're about to go green for the feature race here at LA Coliseum. It is the ANZCAR Cup feature race for the Coliseum. The winner will get bragging rights. Who it's going to be, we'll find out in 149 laps. Bent gets away nicely here. Jones looking to push up early. He's got a nice run on JCW, gets the inside, takes a very tight turn through the corner, but Jones moves it up into 2nd place. He is up there nicely between himself and JCW. There's a massive pack behind him as we've got cars round in the background. A huge accident. Lachlan Urquio caught up in that one. The leaders will be getting up to it soon as well. If they haven't cleared the track, we'll soon find out.
Leaders are there. Leaders are picking their way through. I think we've got cars with broken suspension and components and struggling to get away.
Looks like Daniel Hederscheid's one of those cars that got caught up in that one early, but the leaders pick their way through, somehow get through the carnage. Looks like Lachlan Urquio, Kobe Jordan, Daniel Hederscheid, Aidan Schultz all caught in that incident pretty badly. But they are moving around, of course. No cautions means that it's a lot of action to look at, and it's tricky to catch our breath and look at the actual incidents, so we apologise for that. I'm just going to go back and see what happened myself. But it looks like there was just a bit of contact on the corner entry between the 52 of Schultz and Lachlan Urquio, and that is the reason for that caution.
Let's see if we can grab a quick little replay.
Absolute carnage there, and just see the cars go round, and there's not really much of a chance for runoff on this track. There's not much of a chance to get through. Up at the front, though, we've had a change of position. It is Ryan Jones in the lead after another bit of carnage in front of them between Urquio and Schultz. And I think Stent just got caught out in that. Just looking back to find out what's happened there.
He's dropped down quite a bit. He's dropped down almost a second, so yeah, something's happened to him there.
He's had a bit of contact with the wall. I apologise, yeah, Stent's gone a bit too hard into the corner, made contact with the wall, and there's quite a lot of damage to the front right of that car. He's going to be falling back with that one. Unfortunate there for Stent after a stellar performance in the first heat race. He is going to be dropping down like a stone in this one, especially if there's some suspension damage.
Indeed, indeed. I'm just jumping around everywhere, just trying to, there's so much going on, we're just trying to focus and see, give you a bit of an idea what's happening all around the track here. We see the leaders are working through lap traffic here, and there's bumping and banging going on, the car's spinning, so try and bring it to you the best we can.
I tell you what, this is where you're glad that it's a virtual race car and not a full medal one, because having to get this thing race prepared for next week would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and I think Jones is definitely driving really, really well. He's using that car, like, this kind of track you have to bump and bang on each other to get passes done, and for the most part, and Jones is doing a really good job of sort of using the car wisely to get through those, make those passes.
Jones is working his way through. Nice. He is being very blunt about his moves and making those passes when it matters, getting through that traffic at all costs. But he's got JCW right on his tail as well. JCW putting all the pressure on as we see one of the SRM cars. I think that might have been... Which one was that? It was Matty Ray around on the side of the track. And he has managed to get back into the race, but he's dropped down a little bit. Fair few cars a lap down as all more contact up ahead between Brecker and
Mackenzie in the O2, is it?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Mackenzie there.
See if we can get a quick replay there. I just think the O2 might have just locked up going into the corner there, and unfortunately 25's on the outside and got cleated by it.
And we've got another car that is in trouble, and that's the 52 of Foster. He has gone into the corner, and the number 80's gone around, clipped him hard and sent him spinning right round. Foster's managed to get back on the track, but that was a big loss. He was running up there in the top 5. JCW is in pit lane as well. He's coming into the emergency pit lane after making contact. He's had a big moment off the corner, I think trying to avoid an accident. He's got into the back of Tompkins, and I reckon his engine may be done. That's second place man JCW out of this race.
Yeah, I'm just trying to quickly search through the events and find out what happened here. Let's have a look. There's crashes and incidents happening everywhere, so we're just trying our best to...
And he's gone into Tompkins. That's the aftermath of Foster and Tompkins.
Oh, yeah.
He's got caught by it. Heavy impact there. Both those cars nose to nose. That's going to be a lot of damage. Meanwhile, up the front, we said Toby Stent was in trouble earlier after he made contact with the wall. He's managed to climb his way back up into second and is putting pressure on Jones for the lead of this race.
He is. He backed it off a little bit. There's been so much going on. It's only 24 laps out of 150. It's crazy. And we're already... only 6 cars on the lead lap at the moment.
125 laps to go.
It's crazy.
Look, you've got to be out there because anything can happen. We've seen a fair few of the main cars getting taken out. It only takes a momentary lapse for a car to get hit badly, and you need to go behind the wall, get some major repairs done. JCW's back out on track, although 4 laps down. Just looking at cars that we've lost so far. We've lost Russell Beck, Noddy Tompkins, Stevie Dubb, Aidan Schultz, Kobe Jordan, Lachlan Urquio, Ruben Phelps, Tom Neal, Brenton Henderson. They've had some major damage. A couple of those cars have managed to get back out on track, but they are many laps down.
Yeah, they just need to keep going. They could pick themselves up a top 10 or top 5 finish just by circulating and doing as many laps as possible.
Absolutely. You've got to be out there to get the chance of getting a good finish tonight and getting that bragging rights, of course. The most important thing in all of ANZCAR is bragging rights. It doesn't matter where a win comes from. If you can get a win in ANZCAR, then you've got to take it and be happy with it. Big thank you and shout out to Mr. Riley Curtis joining us in the stream tonight. RCD Designs, of course, helping out with some of our logos. A big thank you to him, making the screen look as pretty as it can. And well, the new logos and the new overlays looking great. And a big thank you to Mr. Matty Hunter for all his hard work on that one.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a bit of work, but obviously thank you to the ATVO guys. They supply the a really good base overlay system, and you can just customize and tweak it for yourself, and that's what we do. And then Riley Curtis, I hit Riley Curtis up for some logos, and he's more than happy to redo all the logos and provide them for us, and they're looking really awesome.
They are indeed, and we've had a move for the lead. We saw it on the screen there, and that was Toby Stent getting past Ryan Jones there for the lead of this race. Stent coming back at it, of course. Toby Stent operating out of Japan. He is over there for work commitments, I believe, and he's having a good run here tonight.
He is looking really good. He'll be hoping to win the big overall prize if he can. That'll be a great way to start off the season in the new team and livery.
Absolutely, and look, starting the year off with a win in a series is a great way to do it. We saw it last time out with Philip Worley, he got the win. Of course, it was Andrew Dyson in second with Foster in third in that race. And, well, we know how much of a great year that DPR had after getting that little win. Not sure how much goes down to that, but it can't hurt, I'm sure.
No, it gives you that momentum straight away and that confidence. I think we're already seeing signs here for that Stent will be another contender up, which is great. That's what we want. Another contender up near the front.
As he's putting the moves on Darren McKenzie now, getting McKenzie down a lap. We've got 4 cars now on the lead lap as Darren McKenzie drops down. 5th position he's in at the moment. He's running strong. He's got Jai Schultz behind him. So it's Toby Stent in the lead. Ryan Jones in second. Dave Douglas, Double D, we've not mentioned him enough tonight. He is currently sitting in third in the number 10. He's 5 seconds off the lead. Dylan O'Shea, one of those DPR cars, sitting in 4th position. He'll want to have a strong race tonight and get a good run on one of these very short ovals, and that will boost his confidence, I'm sure. Darren McKenzie sits in 5th now, just a lap down, but he has got all the chances he can to still get this win. Remember, anything can happen. Jai Schultz is in 6th position, just behind him. Got Luke Kenny sitting in 7th. A nice run from Luke, new to the ANZCAR series as well. Nice to see him up there in 7th position. 8th is Daniel Hederscheid with Edward Foster in 9th. And Matty Ray currently sitting in 10th, 4 laps off the lead.
I was just thinking, looking at that Dave Douglas, he's got a new paint job there. It's looking really, really good. That might be another RCD paint job there. I'm not too sure. Can't see the logo. Yep, RCD logo on it. So that's another Riley Curtis design logo, paint job.
I was going to say it has the Riley Curtis design logo on it. The casting couch is moving around nicely, and he's looking nice and slick in that paint job.
Yeah, just wondering where his partner in crime on the casting couch, or Mr. Skurlock, is tonight. So, unfortunately, he's not here.
He's probably busy on that couch itself. Meanwhile, up the front, Toby Stent is getting a nice lead. He's almost over 1.5 seconds, 1.8 seconds ahead of Jones now. He's pulling out nicely, just gone over 2 seconds, I should say. So he is moving along nicely here, and I've raced against Toby a couple of times, and he is very quick as... Oh, who was that just behind him having a big moment? Was Kobe Jordan, just getting a big slide there. He manages to save it, but that is just how quick it can happen, getting past these lapped cars. It just takes a moment of momentary lapse of concentration or a little mistake, and you could be going down a few laps from the lead of this race.
Yeah, Stent's definitely opening up a big gap here. I don't want to say it about Jones. I don't want to say it, we usually say it, but he may be having a little bit of trouble with his usual bugbear that he has, but I know he is working on that, improving that, so...
I reckon Jones is blazing up those tyres. He is passing those tyres on the right-hand side and smoking them up nicely.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm just trying to get all the weed puns out of the way for this. But it's fine.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's right. Yeah, free chi. It's great.
Absolutely. So that's going to be a source of entertainment throughout the year, of course.
Wait till he crashes and goes up in the air.
That is it. Maybe on lap 420 he'll have a good run.
Maybe. Wow.
He's holding on well. He's got a good gap behind him to Dave. He's currently sitting there in second. There's still 97 laps to this race to go. A long way. And, if Stent's pushing a bit too hard in this stint, if Jones is just holding back a little bit, not pushing those tyres to the brink, he may be in for a bit of luck.
Yeah, Stent is really opening up that gap now. 4.3, it's opened up to now. I don't know if it's combo. Let's see what our last lap times were.
Stent was a 13.8, Jones was a 14.1, so that is a big difference in lap time.
Especially on a little short track like this. Although now Jones does a 13.8 compared to Stent's 14 flat, so they're sort of trading backwards and forwards in lap time. It could be just a little bit of traffic or saving tyres in there.
I was going to say, I think traffic's got a lot to play with this. If you get a clean lap, then you're going to make a huge amount of lap time. But if you get caught behind somebody, which we can see Jones is right now, It's going to hemorrhage lap time. He's just behind Jai Schultz at the moment, who is putting in some good laps, and you must say, Jai's currently sitting in 5th position. He is a lap down now in 5th, but he has still got some pace in that car. And of course, as we say many times, no blue flags in oval racing.
Yeah, and they're all on the old tyres as well. They're all 58, 59 laps on tyres, so it's not a matter of tyres.
No, the only car I can think currently sitting in 8th position is well, JCW. He came in, of course, to get some repairs done, but he could have chucked a fresh set of boots on that car, so he might be sitting in a slightly better position for tyre wear. But he is 4 laps down, so it's a tricky place to be, of course, and it's one of those hard things on a track like this, and especially with no cautions. There's no chance of getting those tyres swapped. You've just got to stick with it, and you've just got to deal with those problems as they arise. And these drivers are all good enough to know how to deal with that. They've all got the skill to run on tyres that are mainly canvas, but it does not make your job easier.
No, that comes down to having that discipline as well, to make sure you hit those marks, don't overdrive the car into the corner, heat those tyres up, don't, gas it up too much coming out of the corners and light the rear tyres up. So having that discipline to do that, there's you can definitely see the ones coming up near the front of the ones that are really, really good at doing that.
Absolutely, and you can see the skill of the drivers who are great on their brakes in short track racing like this. It's all about that brake application, and not jabbing it on, not stabbing it too much. You've just got to be slightly cautious with it, just get it on gently, but also put the pressure in the right spot so you don't lock up the tyres. It is a lot of hard work that you have to put into the car. And then of course there is holding the steering wheel in position, and a lot of these guys are in direct drive systems, of course, and that puts a lot of pressure into the arms. It can wear you out quite quickly in a race that's 150 laps long. After doing a couple of those heat races, it's going to make the old arms a bit sore.
Yeah, I know from experience when I was racing Bristol week. At the end of Bristol week, after doing many laps of practices and racing, we would end up with a sore right shoulder from just constantly turning the wheel left and all the time, and it definitely wears those shoulders out and get a bit of muscle fatigue in them if you're not prepped for it. So yeah, a track like this, probably best part of a couple 100 laps that drivers are going to be doing tonight. It'd definitely be pretty hard on your shoulders.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that fitness does not come into play too much in sim racing, but there is an aspect to it. As we've got a battle going on for 3rd and 4th position at the moment. It's Dave Douglas versus Dylan O'Shea. DO versus DD. Who's going to get this one? They're side by side. They've been running side by side for a few laps now. It's all little bit of a squeeze there as Douglas up into the wall, but they're still side by side here. Douglas holding on for dear life. He's putting the pressure on. O'Shea's having to take a tighter line. That is going to hurt the tyres a little bit more overall. Douglas, though, doing a great job to hold the outside. Dylan O'Shea still on the inside, putting all the pressure on. He's going to make the move, and he does.
Look at those brake rotors are glowing just full time now, even on the straights. They're not cooling down at all.
No, that's it. And that's as we mentioned earlier, as the brakes heat up, so do the tyres, and that is just going to make it more and more painful. We are not even at half distance yet. 77 laps remaining. We're almost there, but 77 laps remaining here. A long way to go, and you've really got to get that car in the right spot and keep it moving on. Currently, Dave Douglas is the last car on the lead lap, and he has got Toby Stent just behind him. Just Stevie Dubb in the middle in that green DPR car at the moment, holding position just so Stent can't get past. A little bit further back, we've got Douglas gets a big slide there and just holds it, as one of the Schultzes has just had a little bit of a moment as well.
Yeah,
Josh Schultz having a moment, and this is going to be big as Schultz and Jones made contact. Schultz could lose a few positions here because he was not far off from Mackenzie, and Mackenzie looks to have made his way past.
Dave's fighting to stay on this lead lap here, but he can't fight off, can't hold off Stent. Stent's doing a really good job of getting that car turned in and hugging the inside of that corner, and look at that, like just powering it off. He's done a really good job.
A little bit further back, teammates are starting to get close to each other again between Heddershide and Foster. We saw some fireworks between these two in one of the heat races. Will we see fireworks from those two? They're catching up to Dave Douglas as well. They are slowly but surely getting close to him, and they could possibly get up into the top 4 in this race. Dylan O'Shea is powering away though. He is next on the list for Toby Stenton lap. He's got about 5 seconds to make on Ryan Jones, but he's putting in some good lap times, and he is slowly but surely lowering that gap. Ryan Jones now 7 seconds behind, sorry, 8.5 seconds behind Toby Stent. Stent is absolutely powering out this lead.
Yeah, something went really wrong on that lap for Ryan. He was 15.1 lap time, like almost 1.2 seconds slower than Stent. Lost a big chunk of time.
Yeah, he's dropped back a little bit, but this time around he is gaining some back. 13.9 this time around compared to a 14.2, so it is ebbing and flowing. Of course, depends where you catch that traffic. If he gets some clean laps now, you could possibly make that gap up, and he's going to hope for it because he needs to try and close that gap a little bit. But well, it's one thing closing a gap like that, it's another thing getting past, because Stent has looked very strong all night.
Yeah, barring a bit of traffic with a bit of lap traffic issues or a south spin, I don't think I'd see him getting chased down from here. The way he wraps that car around that bottom line is very nice.
Absolutely, and looking forward to seeing Stent in some of the other short tracks in the year to come. I reckon he could be one of those drivers that's going to do very well on the short stuff. As just looking, nope, that's okay. Just thought I saw somebody having a moment, but they were okay in that one. The gap is closing between Douglas and Heddershide. However, Douglas is struggling a little bit at the moment. He seems to be having a lot of, well, the car seems to be very tail happy, and he is really falling back into the grasp of Daniel Heddershide in 0.35 at the moment. That battle will surely come. Just on the outside of Matty Ray at the moment. Matty Ray currently sitting in 10th position, just a couple of laps down, 2 laps down off the leader. Not over, of course. Still 59 laps of this race to go, and well, anything could happen.
Just quietly working his way up, Mr. Sheen.
Oh, as speaking of lap traffic, a little bit of a moment for Toby Stent up the front as he was just trying to work his way past O'Shea. Made a little bit of contact on the rear of that car, and Toby Stent's having to come into pit lane.
Yeah, he might have got a meatball out of that.
He's either got a meatball or he's got a drive-through. I reckon it might be the penalty.
Yep, 12 incident points.
Is indeed, and that's what we said. It's so easy for tides to turn here tonight, and it has turned for Toby Stent. He has come out and he is in second place now. He's 5 and a bit seconds behind Ryan Jones, the new leader of the race. The number 11 is blazing his way through the pack and is up the front of this race.
See if we can catch that incident. Looks like it might be here.
Just a little bit of...
Yeah,
that's okay.
It's already happened at this point, yeah, so I can't catch it. That's right. We'll go back live, see where it
washes
up. So it was
just a little bit of contact between himself and O'Shea, just that little nudge, and now he's battling for position with O'Shea as well. O'Shea just behind Toby Stent for second place now. But yeah, it was just that little bit of a nudge as he went into the back of O'Shea. Didn't look like there was much damage, but it has brought out the penalty points and meant he needs to go for a drive-through.
Yeah, plus you get 12 incident points, you get a drive-through penalty, and I think it's 17 that you get a DQ. Or,
yes.
So, I think at this stage only Tompkins with 18 is the only DQ so far.
Possibly. As is always tradition, the Tompkins has been DQ'd, so There we go. I've got it up on my screen now. I can actually look properly. So yeah, unfortunately, we've lost Noddy Tompkins from this race from disqualification. People that are getting close to it though, we've got that are currently out on track. Kobe Jordan on 14. He'll be getting very close to that limit.
Ruben Phelps is sitting on 12, so he would have done a drive-through. And
Daniel Hederscheid on 10. He is getting very close. Foster, Williams, O'Shea, Luke Kenny, Dave Douglas, Ryan Jones, Darren McKenzie, and Darren McKenzie are all on 8 incident points. So they are going to be getting close to that limit. So they've got to be cautious as they get past traffic. You've got to be cautious of rubbing the traffic and also rubbing the wall. So if you're new to iRacing, of course, any contact you make between the car and another car, or the car and the wall, will result in an incident point. Depending on how severe that contact is, it can sometimes be a 0 when you've just made a little bit of a rub and the game's just telling you watch out. Usually it's a 2, but if it's very heavy, it can be a 4 instant point hit, and that can really, really hurt you in a race like this.
Tell you what though, it's going to be on again for the lead because Stenton is definitely gaining and chasing down Jones.
He is indeed. That incident point drive-through would not have been liked by Toby Stent. He will be fuming about it, but it's made for a good race for us. He's 2.8 seconds off the lead, and that gap is closing quickly. Toby Stent 13.9 last time round. Ryan Jones 14.1. Gap is closing quickly here, and we're going to have a race for the lead on our hands.
And then if anything goes wrong there, O'Shea is definitely catching up as well. So he's sitting about that 5.8 seconds behind Jones.
He is indeed, and well, we've got 2 more cars on the lead lap now because Hederscheid and Foster have managed to get back on the lead lap. 6 cars on the lead lap after that drive-through. It's currently, as Dave Douglas has a moment with JCW. I was just about to say, Dave Douglas sitting up there, just had a bit of a moment and lost 2 positions to Hederscheid and Foster as well. So he's dropped down to 6th position. Foster and Hederscheid up into 4th and 5th position. And I just wonder if that's put anybody closer to those instant limit points. They've just gotten away with that one.
So in terms of lap time, yeah, Hederscheid and Foster are running same times as Stent, and they're all running faster than Jones and O'Shea. So yeah, we might have 2 more cars coming up here to battle for that top 3.
Absolutely, and we've got 38 laps for that to happen, so it is definitely coming close. Meanwhile, Ryan Jones is sitting behind JCW at the moment. Joshua Carroll-Walden down in 11th position, 4 laps off the lead. He is in the way of Jones, who's trying to get past, get him a lap down, because right behind him is Toby Stent, who is now right on the tail of the number 11. The 189 is pushing forward for this position. This race has just got very spicy, Matt.
It has. That was a beautiful crossover move though from Jones there. Just arced it out wide and then came in and got the pass done on JCW. It was a very nice passing maneuver there. But yeah, Stent is right there now. He's really hunting him down.
Stent just behind Dave Douglas now, number 10, who is, they're still battling it out there. As you say, when you're lapped down, you still have to fight hard for those positions because you never know what's going to happen as Douglas gets a big slide there. But Jones is really sitting well at the moment as Douglas gets a big tail slide, and that's going to let Stent just get the run now underneath him. It's going to be another one for Dave Douglas to have to sit on the outside for a couple of moments. Stent gets the move done and gets through up into another spot as Douglas gets a big tail slide and just catches that one.
Nice save there.
Big save there. We've just lost Matty Ray, unfortunately. It looks like his internet has decided it does not want to play a game. It's a big shame to lose Mr. Matty Ray from this race. Just looking at the top 10, in 10th position is JCW, Joshua Carroll-Walden. 9th is Mackenzie Schultz, that's Jai Schultz in 8th. 7th is Kenny. Douglas in 6th. Foster's 5th. 4th for Hederscheid. O'Shea's gone around. O'Shea has gone around. O'Shea and Schultz making contact, and looks like O'Shea's going to have to go through pit lane as well, as he's going to have to get a drive-through. That is painful for O'Shea. His car was pointing in the wrong direction. He's going to have to go through pit lane now anyway. But that is a big moment, because that's dropped him down and put Foster and Hederscheid up in another spot. Meanwhile, up at the front,
Stent makes the pass. Sends it down the inside there of Jones and makes the pass. And Jones tried to come back, but he locked up the tyre there, we saw, and yeah, nice pass.
Great driving as Stent. Oh, he has a moment on the exit of the corner there. It looked like he got it all done, and then all of a sudden things were not going his way, but he's got it back on there. I think O'Shea we may have lost O'Shea from this race. Big moment for him, and that's a shame, because he was running well up in the top 5. But that has changed the top 10 around again. And, well, this race has still got 25 laps remaining. What on earth could happen next? I think we've seen it all, Matt.
I think so, just about. What I might do is jump on ANZCAR for a bit. You're right, Cal, sorry.
I was just going to say, a little bit further back, looks like Jai Schultz and Mackenzie are having a little bit of a battle. And Luke Kenny and Dave Douglas as well. Luke Kenny getting the move done on Dave Douglas. Is it? No, not quite. This battle is going well. Luke Kenny here, just going to see him get through, and he just makes it past Double D Dave Douglas.
Nice long run pace from Kenny there. Good job to get himself up to the top 5.
Absolutely, he's had a good run tonight. As I say, new to ANZCAR, I believe, in total. Don't recall seeing Luke before, but definitely new to the Cup Series. But he's having a great run up there in 5th position. He's currently sitting behind Foster, Hederscheid, Jones, and Stent. There's always a big wreck. There's a big wreck, and that's caught Jones in it. As we just get momentary talking. Ryan Jones gets caught up as a big moment's happened in front of him between Mackenzie. And it was between Mackenzie and Jones. They've made contact. Mackenzie's gone around, and that's put a big blockage in the track. And this is going to be a big moment, because it's going to lose Jones a lot of time. And that's meant Mackenzie's had to go for a drive-through as well. Ryan Jones now having to serve a penalty too. Jones going through pit lane. This is going to mean that Hederscheid and Foster are going to move up a position as well. Huge implications for the race.
It definitely keeps shaking it up, but it's working out pretty well for Natari here. 1, 2, 3 so far.
Absolutely. They've got 3 cars in the top 5 at the moment. 4 cars in the top 10. It is going very well for them indeed. As Stent is in the lead, it is Stent, Hederscheid, Foster. Ryan Jones manages to get back out on track in 4th position. Luke Kenny is just behind him in 5th. Kenny has got a chance to get a top 4 position here. Dave Douglas in 6th position. Jai Schultz currently in 7th position, with Joshua Carroll Walden in 8th. 9th is Darren Mackenzie, with Ruben Phelps working his way up into P10 in one of the SRM entries. Ruben Phelps joining SRM for this season and doing the paint job proud, as a few of their drivers have unfortunately dropped out, but sitting there in 10th position at the moment.
So just having a look at the cars still running. I think we've got 13 cars still running out of our 21 that started the race.
Yeah, much fewer cars on the track than at the start for sure. I believe Stevie Dubb, Tom Neal, Kobe Jordan, Ruben Phelps, Joshua Carroll, Jai Schultz, Dave Douglas, Luke Kenny, Ryan Jones, Foster, Hederscheid and Stent still running. I can't see anybody else on track on my tracker. But it is this man, Toby Stent, in the lead. He has led the most laps tonight. He is back in the lead again after getting a drive-through penalty and getting an early hit on that front right. He is back into the lead after starting from pole. On the record books, it will look like he's had a boring race. Started first, possibly finishing first. But it was a hectic one from himself. Daniel Hederscheid had a good recovery. Started 14th up into 2nd, with Foster just behind him, 13th to 3rd. Ryan Jones had a big moment with Mackenzie, but he's had a solid run tonight. He has still got some pace in that car and is currently sitting in 4th place. And Luke Kenny having a great run tonight in 5th, started 17th up to 5th position. He is chugging along nicely at the moment. We've got 9 laps remaining here at the LA Coliseum for round -1 of the ANZCAR Cup Series. It is, of course, the clash at the Coliseum here on Performance E Streaming. And what a clash it has been.
Yeah, it's been pretty action-packed, a lot of bumping and banging.
Oh, action-packed is the understatement of the night. It is full of it. There has been a lot to dissect from this race, but we've seen some great driving, some great passing, and some great battling. We've got some more on the screen now, as it looks like Ruben Phelps is battling it out with a car that might be a lap down, but they are still fighting as Dave Douglas now puts the moves on Kobe Jordan. Is it? I'm sorry, no, it's not Kobe.
Tom Neal.
Neil.
Tom Neal on the 38 there, the caught by T-car, yep.
The joy of the early season, getting used to everybody's new paint jobs.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. We've got to try and remember who's who and identify them by the paint jobs.
And it doesn't help when you're calling multiple series either. It gets very confusing very quickly. So we apologise in advance for that. As our tiredness goes on, our brains start to switch off. But somebody that's not switching off at the moment is Toby Stent, one of the fastest cars on track. He's still in the lead. He's got 3 laps remaining, not far to go here. Just 0.8 of a kilometre to go. 800 metres? Yeah. Maths is not my strong suit, but he is getting close. In the time I said that, it's down to 1.5 laps, of course. Toby Stent will be seeing the white flag any moment now and bringing it home. He has 1 lap to do it in just 400 metres, and he will be taking his first win of the season here for the ANZCAR Cup in the clash at the Coliseum, and it's going to be a good night for Natari Autosport as Toby Stent crosses the line and gets victory here tonight at the clash. The 189 takes the win with Daniel Hederscheid and Foster coming home in 2nd and 3rd place. Ryan Jones will come home in 4th position, as my time screen just has a little connection there. Ryan Jones comes home 4th. Fantastic drive from him tonight. A shame not to see him on the podium. Luke Kenny will come home in 5th position. A strong opening salvo for Kenny. Dave Douglas in 6th position with Jai Schultz in 7th. Joshua Carroll Walden brings home a battered car in 8th position. We saw a big accident between himself and Tompkins. A lot of engine damage on the front of that car, but he brings it home. Ruben Phelps in 9th position. And Kobe Jordan rounds out the top 10. Well, Matt, that was a lot of action there and a great little clash, a great opening salvo to the ANZCAR Cup season, which is going to be kicking off in full next week with Daytona. Exciting stuff to look forward to, though, for sure.
Yeah, if that's a indication of the season's going to go, it's going to be great. Lots of nice new faces up there, running up the front too, with good genuine pace as well. So hopefully we can see them keep coming in every week and being up there and start putting the challenge to those guys up there at the front from last season.
Absolutely, and as you said, new faces. We've got 2 brand new faces to the Cup season in Kenny and Stent. I don't think Stent's made a Cup start I don't think he's had a Cup race last year that I can recall, but I know he's been in Thunder at least, and the trucks. But 2 new faces getting up there. Kobe Jordan rounding it out as well. Driver that's been around for a little bit, but nice to see him in the top 10. Roll over the page. Tom Neal came home in 11th with Darren McKenzie in 12th. 13th for O'Shea. Matty Ray 14th. 15th for Stevie Dubb. Donnie Tompkins comes home 16th. Kai Turner 17th. 18th for Bratka. Schultz, that's Aidan Schultz in 18th position. 19th for Henderson. Urquio in 20th. Yes, 20th.
Yeah, it's right. That's throwing them all out of the order there, and that's all right.
And then it rounds out with Oakley and Malone, Stidell and Horan in final spots. But tonight's winner, Toby Stent, great job for him, a great job for Natari indeed. And it looks like we've got the team down in the green room. So what we might do is grab up all 3 of those drivers and have a quick natter with them. So we'll start off with the boss of the team, for Natari, Mr. Edward Foster. We'll drag him up into the booth. Edward Foster, welcome back to the booth. It's been a while since we spoke to you, but a good night for you, and well, especially a good night for the team.
Yeah, well, it didn't turn out too bad in the end, did it? Yeah, you never quite know what to expect coming to the Coliseum, whether or not it's going to be, you're going to get caught up in something. Of course, we got caught up in a couple of things, caused a couple of things myself. So, it's one of those things. It's an exhibition race. It's a bit of fun. So, get the bumpers out, enjoy it. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, and well, we're going to drag up your teammates as well, Mr. Daniel Hedderscheid. Going to talk to you a little bit about that qualifying race, of course. I mean, a bit of a wreck there between yourself and Foster.
It wasn't that interesting.
I know. Does he have to pay you extra now for the season?
Yeah, I think he was a bit nice to me in that last race because of that. So we'll call it even.
Obviously, it's been a busy night for you boys tonight, but you must be ecstatic with getting 3 cars in the top 3.
Sorry, who are you asking?
Any of you can answer.
Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely are. Yeah, like I say, it's just a fun race to curtain raise the season. So there's no real consequences to it or anything like that. It's just a chance to get everybody out, have a bit of fun. I hadn't really, apart from one race I did with Weekend Warriors a couple of weeks ago, where I actually put the thing in the fence. I hadn't really touched this car at all since Phoenix last year. Really, I've been taking a big old break from sim racing. I barely turned a wheel. So to come in and run as well as we did, even though we did have a couple of incidents, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Absolutely, it was good running. And Daniel, obviously a lot of work in that second race. You were leading the charge, but how hard was it getting through the pack?
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, there's not a lot of room around this track, so you've got to be pretty onto it where you pick your lines and the cars you try and pass. Like, it's not easy to get a pass under here either. You need a bit of trust in the car you're passing. It didn't work too well on the second lap for me, but made a comeback through, and yeah, it was actually a really fun race.
Absolutely, a great comeback. And we'll head over to Toby now. Toby Stan, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on a win. It looks like you've not done much tonight, starting first, finishing first, but that wasn't really the story of the race, was it?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, at the start of this feature, I nipped the brakes a couple times, and I think I let Ryan and JCW through there, so I was a bit bummed with that. But I thought, it's all good, just head down and sort of work my way back through those guys as sort of things happened with them. And I thought I was keeping it pretty clean, but obviously the little nose to tail bumps and stuff add up, and I got a drive-through penalty for the incident points. So that was a bit of a bugger, and I thought it was all over then. And then I was pretty angry, obviously, with that. So I came out the pits and just put my foot down, and yeah, just the things opened up and it worked out. So that was, yeah, it went pretty good. Couldn't be a better first race, really.
Absolutely, it went very well for you indeed. And well, as we said at the start, as we brought you up, obviously a big night for the team. I mean, you can't start off better for the year than getting a win, even if it is an exhibition race.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like Ed said, it's just a bit of fun to get everyone started off in the season. But at the same time, it's always nice to win. Don't win so much, so it's take it when you get it, I guess. But yeah, no, obviously thanks to Ed for bringing me on this season. It's my first season. I'm a rookie this year. So yeah, hopefully it's a sign of things to come. Do what Logano did last year and win the Clash or win the championship. But nah, that's not going to happen. But no, it's the goal is to just have a good solid season and have some fun and see how we go.
Nice to see you setting expectations low at the beginning. Now I expect you to have a solid year and win everything, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I'll do my best, and we'll see where my best ends up. As long as we can have some good, hard, clean, fun racing, I think everything will sort of take care of itself. So we'll see where we end up at the end of the season. But can't start it off any better. So we'll see. Obviously next week with the Daytona 500, how we go there, and keep rolling on.
No, absolutely. And well, a bit of a question for all three of you: how tricky was it racing these cars at this very short track?
I'll go first. By yourself, it's not too bad. I quite enjoy it, actually. It's sort of you sort of get into that trance that NASCAR sometimes gets you in, where it's just sort of accelerate and brake and turn, and it's quite fun. But then you throw 20 other dudes in there, and it's it's intense. Your spotter's going crazy. Slow car here, car stopped here, and it's just you can't quite see around the corners. So you're just hoping when you come around that slow car isn't 90 degrees across the track. So it's good fun, but it's pretty stressful at the same time.
Absolutely. It brought out some great entertainment. And thank you so much for giving us a very entertaining race indeed. Before we let you go, though, look, any one of you could answer this one, but love and shout out to your adoring fans and sponsors, of course.
You're up, Tobes.
I guess that's me. Oh, no, big
You're
thanks
up, mate.
to
No pressure.
Throwing you under the bus already.
AJD, Fully Flawed, M2SR, and Turbo Alpha Japan for sponsoring us this season, and a big shout out to my wife for letting me spend all this time on the computer.
Congratulations. Big thank you to Mrs. Stead, and a big thank you to all of our partners out there for letting us do this hobby, of course. But congratulations on taking this win at the Coliseum. Hopefully the team can continue this momentum and get some more wins this season.
Yep, definitely. That's the goal, just to have a good solid season, and we'll have some fun. That's all it's all about. Have some good fun, and we'll see where it shakes out.
Thank you so much, boys. I'm sure we'll speak to you again in the near future.
Thanks,
Cool,
mate.
thank you.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
So, Mr. Matty Hunter, we are done for tonight. We are race over, and as you can see, Toby Stead getting the win tonight. Rookie season, getting his rookie win out of the way nice and early, and that will help with his momentum, I'm sure. But we are going to be heading to Daytona next, as we said. It is next broadcast for us will be Kentucky for the Australasian Supercar E-Series, but ANZCAR is back next week. We will be having Thunder at Daytona, of course, the Xfinity cars live on Wednesday night. And then we have the big one, the Daytona 500 for the ANZCAR Cup. That will be coming to you on Saturday for the Jules, and then Sunday afternoon for the race itself. Trying to remember times now, as my brain quickly fades into obscurity there. As I frantically look for that one. I'm sure I had it somewhere, but starting at 1 o'clock Adelaide time, I believe.
I believe that's right, yeah, because I think it's about 3 o'clock New Zealand time, so which is about 2 hours ahead of the
Yeah,
Australian East Coast. Yeah.
Yes, so the Jules themselves will be at 7 o'clock Australian Eastern AEDT. That will be February the 18th, of course. The two duels will be happening with that one. At 8:30 will be duel number 2. And then the race itself, 1 o'clock on the 19th of February, 200 laps at Daytona. It is going to be one heck of a race, and we look forward to seeing you there. Of course, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to comment and like as well, because that helps the old algorithm. But head over to the ANZCAR Facebook page or the Performance E-Streaming page to catch the action there and catch all the news. ANZCAR.com as well for some of the latest news on that one. Big thank you, of course, to Mr. Matty Hunter for doing all the hard work tonight.
Not too hard tonight. Pretty straightforward night tonight with the nice quick racing.
Absolutely, but I always like to say that you put in the hard work. I've just been chatting away as ever. Myself, Carl Wilkinson, with you, wishing you all a good night. We look forward to seeing you all next week for the main events, of course, and hopefully on Sunday as well. But a big thank you for joining us, and we will catch you. Well, we'll catch you in later in this week or next week. Thank you all. Have a good night.